2025 is going to be a big year for Royal Caribbean. I've got all the changes you should know about up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Royal Caribbean's got some big things planned in 2025. In fact, they're not a line that looks to just do the same old, same old. They want to continue to push the envelope a little bit more. And there are some important things you should know about as it relates to a cruise coming up in 2025. Undoubtedly, there'll be other changes through the course of the year, but these are the big 5 things we already know about for Royal Caribbean. Let's start off with number 1, and that is a brand new cruise ship. It does not get more exciting than when a new cruise ship joins the fleet, and we'll have Star of the Seas joining it in the second half of 2025. Star of the Seas is the second Icon class cruise ship, so she's the follow-up to Icon of the Seas, and when Star enters service, they'll be sailing from Port Canaveral, Florida at the very end of August. And Star is really an important ship because Royal Caribbean hit such a big home run with Icon. The question is, what's going to be new, different, and quite frankly, the same on Star of the Seas? Now, Icon is going to remain in Miami, and Star will be in Port Canaveral, and that is an important distinction in and of itself because they're going to position the 2 biggest cruise ships in the world with the best things to do on board right in the 2 most popular cruise ports in the world as well. To be honest, there's not going to be wholesale fundamental changes on Star. Rather, Royal Caribbean appears to be tweaking and updating a few things. There will be a couple of revamped and new dining choices. As an example, Pier 7 on Icon will be completely replaced over on Star of the Seas, and the Empire Supper Club is getting a new motif. It also looks like that Star of the Seas will have a Broadway show on board with Back to the Future, the musical. In addition, Royal Caribbean will be updating some other areas of the ship, including Surfside, where they're going to try to make it appeal to a slightly older audience, not like adults, more like older kids. And something I'm really interested to keep an eye on are a handful of new cabins that will have facial recognition on them. So instead of using your SeaPass card, or really in lieu of using your SeaPass card to get into your cabin, a few cabins will have facial recognition so that you can simply scan your face, sort of like your phone does now, and allow you access into your cabin. It's a test, but this is something we're going to keep an eye on for the future because I really think this is something Royal Caribbean is going to roll out to many other ships. The second new big thing in 2025 for Royal Caribbean will be the opening of the first beach club in Royal Caribbean's portfolio. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island will open in Nassau, Bahamas in late 25, and it's going to be unlike a private island experience. You may be familiar with Perfect Day at Coco Cay or Labadee, but this is more like a super shore excursion, where there will be an admission cost to get in there, and not every passenger will have the opportunity to go there because it has limited capacity. Essentially, it's a Royal Caribbean run shore excursion built to the standards that their customers expect for them. It incorporates some of the best features from Perfect Day at Coco Cay, along with some new improvements. Now, this new beach club is located right on Paradise Island. If you've been in Nassau before, it's a small strip of land that's on the other side of where the ships dock, and it's right in prime territory. So you don't have to go very far to get there. You'll simply need to take a ferry over, and once there, with your admission, you'll have full access to the island. Now, this is really important because, as I mentioned, this is the first of many beach clubs. Royal Caribbean is going to open 2 more beach clubs that we know about, one in Cozumel, Mexico, and the other in Vanuatu over in the South Pacific. Now, it's a really bold plan because this is something that no other cruise line has ever done. Private islands, yeah, but offering their own beach club that has an admission cost, and again, is kind of like their own version of a shore excursion, is going to really separate them from other types of vacations out there. Especially important if you imagine this now being you're doing a 3-night or even a 4-night Bohemian cruise on maybe Utopia of the Seas, and you're going to be going to the Bahamas a perfect day. So you really could have a full Royal Caribbean experience from start to finish. You're on your Royal Caribbean ship, you're going to Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and when you're in Nassau, now you have an equally compelling option over there. And again, this is only available to Royal Caribbean guests. If you're sailing on Carnival or Disney or MSC, you're not allowed in. A very welcome change coming in 2025 is number 3 on our list, and that are the major upgrades coming to Allure of the Seas. Now, after being delayed in 2020, Allure of the Seas is finally getting some serious enhancements. In March of 2025, Allure will be taking a break for about a month or so and undergo significant changes. The ship is getting all sorts of additions, including a redesigned Caribbean pool deck, Ultimate Abyss slide, new water slides, a new aqua park, the pesky Parrot Tiki Bar, the addition of 3 different restaurants, including Playmaker, Sports Bar, and Arcade, the Mason Jar, and El Loco Fresh. We'll also have some new activities on board, including escape room, laser tag, upgraded kids and teen spaces, and new suites. All this work is going to cost Royal Caribbean more than $100 million. And really, when it comes to revamps and amplifications like this, it's all about breathing new life into a ship like Allure. Basically, Allure hasn't gotten all the changes we've seen on Oasis of the Seas, or some of the new innovations that have come to Wonder or Utopia. So this will really bring the ship back on par, for a lot of people's opinions anyway, with those kinds of ships. And the end result is you're going to have a fabulously revamped ship that's going to offer way more there. Now, if you're wondering, I don't expect any of the cabins to be updated. That's not something Royal Caribbean typically does with their amplifications or revitalizations. I know many of you have very strong opinions on this, but I'll simply say this is the reality of it and just don't shoot the messenger on it. Once again, Allure's amplification is a good sign for other things to come because other ships also didn't get their amplifications during 2020 or 2021, including Liberty of the Seas and Adventure of the Seas. And hey, maybe we'll see even more updates and enhancements coming to other ships in the future. But the fact that Allure is getting it is a good sign that Royal Caribbean is ready to start upgrading its ships once again. Number 4 on my list is beginning in 2025, Royal Caribbean will implement its new cabin codes. Now, Royal Caribbean, starting with the 2025-2026 deployment, has made it known that they're going to have some new room codes for certain cabins. Now, this is a little important if you've been booking certain cabins in the past, or you've relied on certain hacks for maybe a balcony on the aft of the ship, or a balcony that has an extra large balcony space, and other sought-after cabins. Part of the reason that Royal Caribbean says it's making these changes is to simplify the choices for travel agents, as well as add new room types meant to appeal to certain types of people that cruise. The goal of the recategorization are more options and configurations for guests with large families, separating out triple and quad occupancy rooms, new high occupancy guarantee cabins, and new junior suite and balcony categories. What this really means is that this will be the first year the new room categories are in effect as it relates to the actual cabins on a ship. Most of this is really just changing the cruise lexicon, but it's really important to be aware of these new sorts of cabins, especially if you're used to booking a certain room. So here's a great example of the change we're talking about. Aft balcony cabins. Aft-facing balconies and junior suites are now going to be separated out as a new category, starting with the Sunset Junior Suite. Royal Caribbean says they're making these changes so that guests can easily and quickly find these cabins rather than having to search through them. And with the new year also comes new itineraries, and there'll be some interesting itineraries to choose from. Now, while Royal Caribbean is always going to have its tried and true stuff, don't worry about that, there's always a couple of new or strange or intriguing options you can sail on. As an example, we'll have a Quantum class ship based out of Los Angeles. Ovation of the Seas will be redeployed to LA beginning May 28th of 2025, and she'll offer 3, 4, and 5-night cruises out of San Pedro. Ovation will join Navigator this season. This is significant for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's now a second ship sailing out of the LA market, which is really important, folks down over on the West Coast. And also, it's a bigger ship offering more to do on board. Navigator is a great ship, but she's been there alone for a couple of years now. And now Ovation will offer a summer itinerary going down to the Mexican Riviera. And you'll have different itineraries, new choices, and just more capacity over in the LA market. Another interesting change will be Serenade of the Seas will offer some cruises to Latin America from 2 unusual home ports. One is Cartagena, Colombia, and the other one is Cologne, Panama. And they'll offer 7-night vacations beginning in October of 2025 to the Southern Caribbean, like places like Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. Again, ship in a new place offering really deep Caribbean itineraries from ports you don't usually see cruise ships sailing from. Anthem of the Seas will make her debut in Australia, the first time that ship will be sailing from Australia beginning in November of 2025. And speaking of ships in new places, Wonder of the Seas will go to Miami to offer short cruises. Similar to Utopia of the Seas, Wonder of the Seas will migrate over and begin offering short 3- and 4-night runs. Again, the master plan is Icon and Star offering 7-night cruises out of Miami and Port Canaveral respectively. And then you've also got Wonder of the Seas and Utopia of the Seas offering the short cruises. And Royal Caribbean really thinks that 1, 2, 3, 4 punch is really going to be the very best choice in a cruise vacation you can find in North America, bar none. So there you have a look at some of the big changes coming to Royal Caribbean in 2025. Let me know in the comments below, what are you most excited about, and which of these are you taking advantage of? Will you be going to the new beach club, or maybe trying out one of these new ships in a new place? Or perhaps you're considering booking Star of the Seas and a variety of other new changes coming to Royal Caribbean. Let me know in the comments below. While you're down there below our video, hit the like button. Subscribe to our channel so that way YouTube lets you know we have a brand new video. I don't want you missing out on any of it. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. We'll talk again real soon.